So my wife breeds geckos, so we've got there's a window back here. So I think some bugs are getting in. So if you see flies, like that's normal. Okay.
Live on YouTube.
Okay. I don't need to hear myself on YouTube. Okay. So here we are. Let me see if I can get my link to the South Atlanta RIA, and I'll see if where is it? It's in my Google Keep, and I've got a link, and I guess I'll just give you all that. Okay.
Edwin just said hi. Well, that's nice.
Okay. I keep, for social media marketing, I keep a Google Keep account, and pinned at the top, I have all of the links and hashtags that I use when I'm making a post. Oh, it's got Magic Mike in the link. Cool. Okay. All right. I'll put that here in contact. So I am here in week 1 of quarantine. Okay. And then don't underline it. All right, good. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get to it. If you come in, please mute yourself. Edwin, hey, how's it going? There's a chat. I'll post it here. So in the chat is the link, and I can text that out to y'all if you want. You can get that there. And then let me get you a copy of the slides here, and I'll put that in there as well. Get a link copied. All right. Okay. All right, so share my screen. We got 15 people in. We are recording, and I'll share my screen. Let me move that. Present. All right, so I'm going to do that. If you're not muted already, it was giving me some trouble. Couldn't find the mute everyone, but mute yourself until the Q&A, and then I'll go through and unmute people, and you can mute yourself if you don't want to be people to hear you talk, and then we can go through the Q&A. I'm going to go through this probably in an hour, so till 1:30. Oh no, I've got to talk about the South Atlanta RIA. So South Atlanta RIA, this is a super group of that. And normally this is like $10, but since we're all in quarantine, you know, I'm able to make it free, so y'all can still come to it. The RIA is $25 a month. You can come to all of these for free, including other ones if they charge like $10 for them. And then you get a discount on stuff. I believe the newest course she has is virtually flipping storage units. So you can take that course. I think it's like $39 if you're a member. So you get a discount on that, and you can flip storage units, which seems to me that that is a good quarantine lockdown proof business, and you can do it virtual. Let's see. So normally we're at Taco Mac in Decatur. So I would ask you to normally to buy tacos and beer from Taco Mac, support that local business. But since we're at home, I would ask you to support whatever local business is around you. There's a local game store where I used to play board games at. They have a Patreon where you pay per month. You can have food delivered. We got Domino's where they have contactless delivery, and they just leave it on your front door. So support your local businesses, especially the mom and pop ones. You can buy gift certificates if they're closed. And then when this is all over, so you can still support them. And then when this is all over, you can go spend them. Yeah, so support those businesses if they need your help. And let's see, RIA, I think that's everything. And then Zoom is our sponsor, as they're allowing me to do this. And I'm doing this in Google Keep, or Google Slides, by the way. So I'm Mike Watkins, also Mike the Wholesaler on social media. This is Wholesaling 1 for May. We're going to talk about phone skills and how to set up your call center, how to text, anything with the phone. We're going to cover that. And then last month, I was supposed to do driving for deals. So I need to do that one again. So let me know. I guess I'll just do that out to everybody. So there's my contact, Mike the Wholesaler. And there's my number. You can call, text. There's my email. There's the website. There's to join the RIA. So about me, I'm married to a beautiful, amazing, shy wife. She didn't approve any pictures on here, so I can't show her to you. I have 2 crazy kids. Yeah, she's right over here. 2 crazy kids. There they are. This is Noah, and that's Lincoln. They're playing Fortnite on their Switch right over here, so you might hear them. I apologize. So there they are again. I collect monopolies. I need currently a socialism monopoly because it triggered some people and they took it out of the stores. So if you have one, I'll buy it from you. I'm the wholesaling supergroup leader of the South Atlanta RIA. I won Teacher of the Year in 2018. Last year, I won Best Wholesaling Group Leader. I think Best, a whole bunch of stuff. Basically participation trophies. Yeah, but I've got awards there and a cool picture. And then there's my old shirt. And then I've got that thing around my neck is a cape because we're super group, not subgroup leaders, we're super group. Homework check from last month, which should have been driving for deals. You'll have a copy of this. So when I do that webinar or that meetup Zoom meeting, you will have, you can put all this together. So your homework was to pick a day off to drive for deals, drive on that day for deals on that same day every week, make it into a schedule, set it in your phone or Podio to remind you, plan a route ahead of time so that you don't go through any industrial areas. You want to go through residential. Download the apps that I told you in here, and I'll go over that later, and then drive the route, actually do it, and then mark it to them by sending them yellow letters. And if you need any sort of how to do those letters or postcards yourself, you can go to the YouTube channel, The Wealth University. Here we go, phone numbers. All right, so you need virtual numbers. Do not call from your actual phone number. That is really, really bad. You don't want people to have access to your phone number. They could skip trace you, they could find you, and it'd be very bad. It's very hard to block somebody out that way. And how many do you need? You need 2 at least, one for buyers and one for sellers. And that way when you get a call from that number, you can label that number in your phone as buyer or seller. And that way, when you get a call, you know what mode to be in. Oh, this is a buyer, this is a seller. Well, I don't have anything right now. Or do you have a property for sale? That kind of thing. So if you're in the car and you're driving and you don't have the script out, or you don't have access to your computer or your CRM, you really might not want to take a seller call. And then get ones with local area codes. So you want 678, 404, 770. Did I say that one already? And you want local area codes so that when you call them, they're going to think, oh, it's normally not a number that they're going to have in their phone. Well, they're not ever going to have that number in their phone. So you need local area codes so they're more likely to pick up. No 1-800, 188, none of those weird numbers. You want to look like you are local, especially in Georgia, from what I've noticed. And you can Google search the city and area code, and you can find whatever area code is there. Recently, I ran out of phone numbers. They had sold them all. So I ended up buying a 470 number, which is actually a Georgia number. So I was able to do that through REI Simple, which I'll talk about in a minute. Ability to text is preferred, not just with calls. Okay. Virtual numbers. You can get them from CallRail, CallText, Vumber, and I now use REI Simple, and they can all be forwarded to CBSI, which you can go to cbsiholdings.com. And okay, check the chat. So cbsiholdings.com, and you can set up the call center. You can forward them to it. CallRail, and I believe CallText records the calls. Vumber doesn't have mass texting, and then REI Simple doesn't record the calls. Track calls that come in and record them if they get dropped or hung up. So all of these will actually say, hey, the person hung up halfway through the call. And you need to track the calls coming in to CallRail, CallText, or whatever your virtual system is, and then have those forwarded to CBSI, because they won't track any hangups. Okay, so that's a good list to work, is people that call in, and then when they hear that person pick up, hey, this is mikeshousehelp.com, how can I help you? Some people get scared. It's weird to me, but people don't like talking on the phone. Sometimes people will send a text and then they'll get a call from that person and totally flip out. It's so crazy. Okay, so I've got a chat coming in. I'll get to that in a second. Let me move that window. Okay. All right, call center setup. Okay, so if you have a job or job, or you aren't able to take the calls as they come in, you can, for $75 set up and $30 a month, you can have cbsiholdings.com take, and there's their phone number, by the way, and you can have them take it in. So the way I did it with Podio is I had a web link, a web form that I would give them. You can do it by email. You can use their form, which is not that good. Sorry, Corky. But I'll show you one later that you can use, and you can give that to them. They can either email it to you or put it into your Podio system. So a call will come into your virtual number. It'll then get forwarded to the CBSI number. They'll give you a phone number. And once it's forwarded to there, they'll pick up, they'll bring up that web form or your form. They'll ask those questions word for word, and then they will email or submit them to your Podio setup. So you have a 24-hour, 365 call center right there set up for you, and they speak American, which he always says. They're based in Marietta, and they're awesome. So go to the Sellers app in Podio, which should look like that, or whatever Sellers app you have. go to the wrench, then modify template, and then go down to web form. So right down here at the bottom, and you will get this link right here, a shareable link, and you will email that to CBSI and say, hey, call this. So there's what the form looks like when they see it. And you can change these in Podio and make them very conversational. Like, what's the best number? Is this the best number to reach you at because you're calling in? I also used this form for online submissions. So that's why I didn't word it that way. And then you could say, what's your email? And so there it goes. It goes from the form to the number, or the number calls in, the person picks up, they go to the form, pops up into your Podio. That's what it will look like. Okay, phone skills. Do not ask to talk to the seller. I get VAs all the time calling me and they'll be like, is Mike Watkins there? And I'll say, yeah. And they'll say, hello, we are interested in purchasing your property at 123 Main Street. Would you consider selling it? Yeah. And then of course they'll get to that question, well, why have you decided to sell it? And I'll say, I don't know, you called me. What do you mean, why? And I'll almost get the same person and the same questions. So I don't know if there's like a program that they're selling. But don't ask to speak to the seller, because if they're getting calls from, seller told me they got calls from that they didn't pick up, and they would ask for their name and they had debt. And so they would call to collect that debt. And the first thing those people say is, can I speak to Mike Watkins? Or your name. So don't say that. Put the truth out there. Say, I don't know you, you don't know me. This is just a blind call. Sorry to call you out of nowhere. I'm looking and interested in buying this house. If you would be interested in selling it. So then if you are the owner, I don't know if you're the owner. Most of the time that person's not the owner. They might be a brother, sister, or relative of the owner. I don't know. That's just how skip tracing works. And so they might not be the owner. So, you put it out there that you don't know everything, and you make it seem like you're just calling numbers out of the phone book, or you're just Google searching phone numbers. I'll tell them like, hey, this is the 15th person I've called today trying to find the owner of this house. I have cash. I'd like to buy it. Get them to talk as much as possible once you find out they are the owner and they're interested in selling, and go through the seller script. Even though you know all of the information on your side, like I know you're the seller, I know, John Williams owns this property, or it's in foreclosure and that's why I'm calling, and they don't tell you all that stuff, just don't worry about it. And don't ask if it's in foreclosure. But when you get to why have you decided to sell it, then that may be something to get into later. So get them to talk as much as possible. Go through the seller script. I got a dog over here that's itching. Sorry. Get them to name the first price. That's an anchor price. And so if that price is, let's say, for example, if they come in and say, well, I want 100,000, then that's your opportunity you can set that. They've set the anchor, and then you can move your price however you want. So if you want to, if you're interested in getting it at like 20,000, obviously, you would start at 20 and come up, and then in the middle is where you're going to come generally. So if you name the first price and you say, well, I'd like to give you 100,000, and that's not the price they want, or the price they want is double that, they could ghost you. So you don't want them to ghost you. You want them to name the first price. He who names first price in a negotiation loses, from Confucius, which is in my negotiation webinar, which is on my YouTube channel. So if you want that, how to negotiate on the phone, that might be something to look at. And if it's close to your maximum allowable offer or your Mayo, that they're motivated. So if their price is close, mark it as motivated. In Podio, you can create this as a category. But in REI Simple, they have a drop down. So on every attempt to call the seller, you can put that in there, and then you can actually say how motivated they are. Another way to see how motivated they are as well, to add to that, is you can ask them how quickly do they need to sell, or what's their time frame. So obviously the further out, the less motivated. Like, I need to sell it tomorrow, the more motivated, and of course your offer can come down. When responding to a call or text, do so in the same format. Somebody I know really well will text somebody, and then they'll call them, and they'll totally flip out. And I've asked them about this, and they told me there's like a meter that they have. And so when they're out, and they'll be like with people like months ago, obviously, and their like social meter will run out, they just can't do it anymore. So I don't know what that's like, but I do know that if I'm going to be cold calling or sending a ringless voicemail out to all these sellers, some are not going to pick up the phone because they are an introvert. And so for people with an introvert, if they text you, you want to text them. Okay, you want to hit them in the same format they came to you. And if you want to move to a phone call, text them and ask for the phone call. Okay, if they text in and you need to move forward, ask them, set a task to call them back in 24 hours with the offer. And obviously you need to get the email on the first call, and then the seller script. I can hear somebody. Can you mute yourself, or make sure that you're muted? Okay. And I am recording this, and I will send y'all a recording when it's over. So seller script is here. You can send this to the call center, or you can ask this, or you can put these into Podio. Okay. So you get this already made if you're a coaching student of ours, but you can easily put this in all of these things, and you want to ask these, and you want to make them conversational. So obviously, like, the date is not something that you're going to ask. You can say, what's the best email to get you? Your location is not one that you're going to put in there. You're going to get that from the tax ID information. And then you want to ask, like, how many beds, how many baths. You want to get them through all of these. You want to get them talking about it. Like, this one right here is the real big one. What's the story? So you want to entice them to tell you about the history of them selling it, and just be buddies with them. So cold calling, you call them. It's a virtual number, so don't worry, they'll never find you. They can't get your address. Also, you should have a USP box or a PO box as well. And then I had a student that was deathly afraid of talking to people, or that they would find him. So he ended up getting I don't know if they still have it, but it was Singular, because I'm so old. Singular or AT&T, they had a Go phone. And so he would go buy a phone and put minutes on it, and it would have its own SIM card. So there would be no way, in his mind, that gave him the peace that he needed. So get a straight talk phone to put your mind at ease. On brand 24.com can make cold calls for you. You upload the list, they call them. They can even talk to old or expired listings, or people who have sort of dropped off. I forget what they call it. We'll see it. Customer win back. So if you had a customer in the past, they can do all this stuff for you, and they talk to them. So they cold call them. It's awesome. I got some grape juice over here. Okay, so this is the next main meeting for the South Atlanta RIA. And they have, the whole year is just all about women in real estate. And so here's the stuff. Speed networking is back, and this is all virtual. So it wasn't like this last month. It was just a meeting. So that's speed networking. And this way people can really get out there and start networking again. Okay. And this is just a picture, so don't think you can register. You can go to their website. So texting, all right, can be done on all virtual numbers. Only call text or slide text can mass text. There's an update also, REI Simple can mass text. Okay, so plans start at 50 on call text for 200 contacts, 200 text, and they are now 5 cents per anything, ringless voicemail, text, or anything in call text. And then it's the same in REI Simple. Slide text starts at $5 and has prepaid plans. So if you're just starting out, slide text is going to be the mass text, and it's similar to slide broadcast, but they are separate sites. Okay, so you need a new username and everything on each one, but they're the same company. I don't know, they're weird. So don't message anybody under 2 days. Now, normally that would be the thing, but since most people are at home, I would say now it's finally okay to do that because people are at home and time is flying so by. I even made my Deal Machine postcards that go out. I changed it to every 7 days because people are at home. Like they're not, 3 weeks to get a new letter or 2 days to get a new text. And some of the wholesalers probably already texted them and got the deal under contract. If they reply stop, delete the number, or put it in there, do not call, REI Simple does this for you. And if they say, hey, stop texting me or anything like that, you can just click on the stop button and it will red list that phone number for you. Or unsubscribe too. Somebody did that this morning. Ringless voicemail. Okay, so this is the good one because the problem with texting is that texting can only go to a cell phone. Ringless voicemail goes to all phones. And then it leaves a voicemail or at the very least a missed call. And so then they call you. Can only be done on slide text or slide broadcast. There's another one, slide mail something, slide message, but that only does a single voicemail drop at a time. But that one can be linked up with Podio if you can figure it out how to get. So through Podio, you can link it up through Zapier and have Zapier leave a voicemail one at a time. But I would just do the slide broadcast or call text. Can be done on mass drops on both sites. Plans start at $50 a month on call text or 200 contacts. It is now 5 cents for each ringless voicemail after that. Now, I have gotten rid of ringless voicemails because if you got a text from me asking for cold callers, and I myself am cold calling, but if we're going to cold call each of these people, we're going to leave a message on their voicemail that way. And if we actually call them, there's a chance that they might pick up and we talk to them right then. So that gets a better response. Slide broadcast starts at $8 a month and has prepaid plans. Disregard that. You can message people probably once a day now. I wouldn't do it any more than that, not that you would want to. If they reply stop, delete the number. We can role play later on if you want. You be the seller, I be the investor, or vice versa. And the number one rule here is to help people. So I wanted to share this with you. This is a guy, this is so sad. So a seller sent me this and, he said, I look like a thief. You sound like you stole something that you want to steal from mine too. He was really mad, left me a voicemail with some cuss words on it. And he didn't end up, I don't think he owned this house. He actually owned another one, but he was still getting letters or texts from it. So I said, hey, sorry, I sent you a postcard. There's no way I could steal your house. Like, it's not possible. For some reason, some sellers think that you can just say, if they say Rumpelstiltskin, you can be like, gotcha. Now you got to sell me the house because you said it. Like, they still have to show up at the closing and agree to it. Like, there's no way you can just steal it from them. But then he said, they respected it and it's a nuisance. Where was it? So his mom, sister, niece, and his dad all passed away from the coronavirus, and he's got to deal with all of that, and you know, destroyed his life. So I said, hey, I'll keep you in my prayers, and I took you off my postcard list, and he came around. So even though he's not the seller, and then after this, I did tell him that, hey, if there's anything you need, let me know. Just anything at all. And I mean, golly, can't imagine going through that. But just help people. He may have a property later on that he might want to sell. He may know somebody that wants to sell, and he'll keep it in mind. So I think it's is it reciprocity? But if you help people, it will come back to you. Maybe not from him, but it will come back from somebody else. So people are going through a rough time right now. Just get it through to them that you are just trying to help them through this time. Okay, we're all in this together. All right, so now your homework. How am I doing on time? Oh man, 30 minutes. Okay. So let me move my window. So your homework due by next month is to set up a call center. If you have a job, or do it yourself, get a forwardable number and route the call to call center when busy, or you can just route it to yourself. Cold call, shoot for 150 numbers per week, or you can find other companies or other people to do it for you. I reached out to other wholesalers and linked up with them to split the profits 50-50. So I paid for the leads, I paid for the skip tracing, and the back office is REI Simple. And I also meet with them every Sunday to go over tips and tricks, and I do their scorecards, all of that. And then I shoot, I think I did like 211 this week. So you want to shoot for that 150. And then if you've got Deal Machine, or if not, you can get a $10 of direct mail credit with promo by using that code right there. And then if you need coaching, you can get the coaching at thewealthuniversity.com. Okay, so I've got some, so I guess we'll go to Q&A. If my drop-down menu will pop up. So there's a chat. I guess we just use the chat. I don't think there's Q&A. I think that's only on the webinars. So how do you have your phone system set up? So let me see if I can, does that work? How do I leave this? Okay, there we go. So my phone system is set up. Let me go to it right here. It's right here. So all of the calls come into here, and then this is where we have them all. And yeah, so I can come in here and go to settings, and I can go to phone, and I've got all my phone numbers there that can be forwarded, all of that. So that's how it's set up. And within REI Simple, I can have them routed to me, and so they show up in the over here. So if I were to get a call in here, it'd be right here. And I've turned that off. I have put working hours, I guess. So if a call comes in, I set it to 12:30, so 9 a.m. to 12:30 today. Route it to me. If it doesn't come in between those times, it'll be a voicemail. But when the call comes in to the user, it'll pop up right here, and I can click on them, go to their property, and I can pick the call up, or I can hang up, and I can take it right through the computer screen. That is good because I can then click on them, and when they ask, what's the address of the property you're trying to buy? Like, do you really want to sell it? I can then pull that up and say, well, you want to sell 123 Main Street, right? Yeah, that's the property. Okay. So I can get those people like that are on the fence and swing them over to my side. Where did my chat go? Okay, so that's how my phone system is set up. And then I can mass text everybody like that. And I've got all of you in a group on there to where I tell you all about this. Obviously, most of you probably came from that. And then I've got deal finders in there as well. I can mass text them and or individual, and I can say, well, hey, have you found any deals? Are you finding any? And keep up with them that way. And then there's no ringless voicemail, but you can cold call through that system. So it's all done in there. And the reason I switched over from Podio, because I was using Podio and then I was using call text to mass text and mass ringless voicemail and take the calls, but the call quality would get dropped. It was really bad. And so I had to have two, because call text wouldn't have house data or anything on the property. They would have the address and they would link it with that phone number. So when they called, I could tell them what house I wanted to buy. But then I had to have in Podio all of the real questions, all of the real data. But Podio didn't do any sort of phone system. So I've now switched over to REI Simple, because REI Simple, I can just pay for another number. They're $4 a month. I've got all these users in there making calls, and my acquisitions manager and my deal coordinator. I've got all that in there. And second I get a new number, I can route it to somebody. I can put it in a campaign. And anytime a call comes in, that campaign tracks it. So I don't have to do any extra tracking setup. And then it's now customizable. So unlike a couple years ago, it wasn't. But now it is. So I can fully customize fields just like in Podio. So now REI Simple does everything that Podio does. And the only thing that would get me out of that would be if something did all of that plus ringless voicemails. And not SEO, but Google AdWords, that kind of stuff. If I could have a CRM that would do that, that would also make me make the jump, because that's sort of an area that I'm not that good in. But that's my phone system. That's why I've switched over to REI Simple. Definitely want that. Alan, oh, what do you want? Yeah, I'll get it to you. What was the name of the cold calling site? It is onbrand24.com. And it is the outbound call center. I'll put that in the, I'll post it in the chat for you. So there we go. Man, they really want to entice you to do private messaging. Okay. Like you're going to be in a business meeting, you're going to be like, we need to get Phil out of here. Like, let's fire him. There's the call center. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, do y'all want me to unmute? Do y'all have any questions? I can unmute y'all and get everything on here. Let me do that. Yeah. Give me just a second. If this will pop up. Okay. So I got everybody here. Do y'all want me to unmute you? Is that okay? Yeah. So normally I'm set for man, at when we're at Taco Mac, usually I'm up there for like maybe 45 minutes talking about stuff, and then we have 30 minutes of Q&A that everybody wants to get on to. So I'll unmute everybody, and if you want to stay muted, you can mute yourself back. If y'all have any questions, y'all can speak up and let me know. Yeah. So don't be afraid to say something.
Hey, Mike. Good afternoon. This is Edwin. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Edwin?
I'm doing great, sir. Listen, I got a question. Is there a way to obtain the past 2 recordings I think I'm behind the homework, man.
So the past recording I did was, yeah, I can get the past recording, which was April, and I went over.
February, I think it was, right?
So I actually messed up in the last recording that I have was over comps, and then the one before that was Podio setup. So I can get those to you. I missed the driving for deals one, but I can get that to you. Or no, I think I actually did the February meetup in person, so I don't have that recording. It wasn't until I think March that I started doing the Zoom. But I can get the slides to you.
Okay, that'll work. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I can definitely get the slides for those to everybody, or I'll post them in the chat. Man, what a time to be alive. Okay. Okay, so you need, oh, I gotta click on it to get the link. So these are a little outdated, so they'll still have the dates from last year, because this one I think was in person. So there it is. So February Podio there, and again, man, they really love that private. Excuse me. Okay, and then I'll go back and do the other one, and I can just give you all the driving for deals one too.
Yeah, that'll work. Appreciate it.
Here we go, driving for deals. Yeah. I think I did this one in my car. Okay, share. And there we go. And this is February. This is April. Driving. Seems like it's a few calls here, and there are some videos. Are you talking about my YouTube channel? So I've got a couple of them on there. I can probably just post these on there, or I can do another meetup probably next Saturday like this, and I can go over the driving for deals one if you want. Because I've got to make that one up anyway, so that everybody has it. Now, if you want all of them, so there's 12, and the reason I've got them numbered like that is because, let's see. So the reason is, oh, there it is. I did a 12-week course with Stacy about, so every week on whenever you sign up for it, a new hour-long webinar would drop. I did it live last year. I want to say it's like 100 and something, 139 maybe. But it'll go through all the 12 steps in 12 weeks. And it gives you the same homework, all of that. And then you get the purchase contract, the assignment agreement, and a spreadsheet on finding the ARV. So it gives you everything to get started. I don't know if she still has that. And then I did one about, so this is March. Yeah. And I found out I didn't have one on comps, which is like crazy. So I had to put one on comps in there. Okay. Yeah, so there's all of them. And I don't know if she still has that on there, but if not, and you want that, I can sell it to you. And then I did one on flipping houses in quarantine. There's the boot camp. And then I go over all this stuff. So, oh, there's my student this year that did his first deal. I did one on there too from how to wholesale houses from your smartphone. So all the apps right from your phone, no computer required. And then I want to say it's this. No, is it negotiation? Where is negotiation? Oh, it's this one. So this one should be on the YouTube channel to where you can learn how to negotiate. And of course, now it's all going to be over the phone. So let me go over that right now. The reason, so I'm going to do everything virtual here in Georgia. We are technically out of quarantine. I think we're in phase 2 or 3 of going back to how it was before. But it's weird that it seems weird to me that, you know, Governor Kemp opened everything up except for his mansion tours. So it's, and then they're building more hospitals. So they're building, was it makeshift? What's that word? Temporary hospitals?
Yeah.
Temporary hospitals. They're building more and the numbers are ramping up. But on their site, they're ramping down. And then the other thing is that I'm high risk. So my lung collapsed in school when I was young. So I can't go in a plane more than 5 feet underwater. I can't go in any kind of pressurized environment. The Wealth University is the name of the YouTube channel. The Wealth University. So, you know, if I get the flu, I am, you know, I'm gone. So I can't get this. I can't get pneumonia. I can't get the flu, or I'm out. I can barely breathe like it is right now. Coughing, hiccups, all that hurts. Yawning. So when it started, when they let up on Friday, I think it was Friday, and so for the next 2 weeks, I got enough food, everything to stay here. So I haven't left the house in since Friday. And I'm doing pretty good at it because if I go out there and get it during this time, everybody's going back. I mean, people are flooding. They're not social distancing, so it's bad for me. So I'm still keeping up with the completely virtual concept. Occasionally, I get a seller that's just like, "Oh, it's fake." You know, just meet me at the house and we'll do the contract. So I am missing out on those few leads. I guess I could just have somebody just show up and fill the contract out for him. But I can get my deal coordinator on that. So that's the plan right now. For me, if you want to go out, go out. I mean, it's fine. It's just me being high risk. I can't do that. So that's what I'm doing. I can still teach the, and you can still go and do the other, the way that I used to teach it last year, which was, you know, the first initial phone call that comes in, you want to get all the information, see if their Mayo is close or their offer or what they want for it is close to yours. If it is, then you set the appointment to meet them at the house. Obviously, when you meet them at the house, do I have it? You will want to the contract, and you want to have your contracts printed out right here. And in the driving for deals, when I talk about where to buy this, but you want to have your contracts like ready to go. So if you meet them at the house, you have got to have it for them and a pen. You don't want to meet them at the house and then get their email to talk to them later. You know, especially if they're an older person. And then you should be able to get to all of my YouTube channel by Mike the Wholesaler, or maybe it's, I don't know if I want to show you all my, let me stop the share for a minute. And then I'll see, because I don't want y'all to see what videos I watch. I don't know if like Taylor Swift or something will come up on there. But I could post this on there and all this. Let's see, where do I go? My channel. My channel. All right.
Hey, Mike, I got a question.
Yeah, shoot.
So how many leads should we be shooting for to get to one deal? And then how many calls per day should we be making? How many potential sellers should we be, making offers on to get to that one deal per week or per month?
Okay, so if it's 150 is the goal you want to shoot for per week, 150. Don't do any cold calling or any calling on Sunday. And then so 150 divided by 6. So 25 calls a day. And then that'll get you to that 150 per week. And then once you meet that or exceed that, then start upping it. You want to increase it slowly and sort of get into a rhythm of calling people. But generally, it's 1,000 leads will get you through direct mail. Mailing will get you 1,000 leads go out. About 20 to 30 calls come in. One of those is going to be a deal. So about 1 in 1,000 is usually going to be what it is. As far as cold calling, I don't know if my numbers are good enough to give you an accurate number on that. But basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to get through all those no's. Everybody that's like, no, I'm not really ready, or I'm not going to give it away. You want to, okay, cool. Put them into follow-up, set a task to call them back in a week. And then you just want to get through all those people till you get to the person that's like, yeah, I need to get rid of this. I've got medical bills I got to pay for, or, we're going to lose the house. That kind of stuff. Perfect to do foreclosures and anything involving the courthouse. So if you can get leads on that, you can continually call those people and still market to them. So the window is open because there's no foreclosures going to the auction. So you've got all this time to build rapport. And then just continually set a task. When you call them, set a task to call them back in a week and see how they're doing. Did you sell the house? Did you get the price you wanted? If they do get it under contract, still follow up with them in 2 weeks and see, well, how did it go? Did you actually sell it? You may find out that they didn't actually sell it, or the wholesaler got it for too much. But it's really that follow-up game. And then make sure you take notes when you are calling them about anything, or texting about like dog birthdays, kids in the background, any way that you can relate to them, or anything that you can remember, like, oh, it's your birthday, or you were telling me next week was your birthday, happy birthday. So any way you can build a connection with them. When I would meet people in person, I would see a big G on their car, and I think that's a football team. And so I know that those people hate Gators. And so I would Google search stuff on that, and I would just talk about that, and I would make stuff up. And of course they would do all the talking about how much they hate those other teams. I know people hate Patriots. So if I'm ever in a situation where, they like football and I don't know anything to talk about, I just say, man, those Patriots suck. And most of the time they end up hating Patriots too, which is really weird, but any sort of connection that you can get with them.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Do you need me? Oh, okay. So here's the YouTube channel, the Wealth University, and here's the stuff. Yeah, so I've got the April one on there, or March on there is comps. And then I've got how to flip houses in quarantine. And I think I did that one with Marcus Merritt and the other coach, Justin Ship. So I got all of that on there. Okay. And I need to start posting more videos on there. So here's another good thing. Here in Deal Machine, they've got a dark mode, which is nice. I love dark mode. So in Deal Machine, normally you have to go driving around for deals. And they've got a new Chrome extension, which this is Chrome. And you can normally take that extension and you can go into Google Street View, where if you know what that is, you can actually go driving around in the Street View and you can see a house or a picture of a house that looks vacant, and you can click on it and it will drop down with Deal Machine, and you'll hit add, and it will take that Google Street View and it will add it to your Deal Machine. So you can virtually drive for deals. But if you can pull a list of, so here's Street View right here, enable Street Pick, and then there's dark mode, which is awesome. And you can export, but now you can upload. So you can pull a list of absentee owners, upload them, and then all of those that you upload will get a street pick. So you can drive for deals in seconds. That is insane, dude. And it will track who brought the deal in, and of course all of that, because if you know, and then I use this down here too to help out. So we use Slack, and so anytime a new deal comes in, it goes into Slack, so we know when new deals come in. So I'm still taking in new deal finder leads, but I'm able to upload a list now of all of them. And when they come in, I take them all and skip trace them, and the ones with phone numbers get deleted, and then the ones without phone numbers stay in Deal Machine, and we mail them out every 7 days. But let me show you this. Let me see if they've got any default mailing options. Oh, no, I know where it is. Here. So here, this is built in. Look at this, COVID blocks. So this is the template for the postcard. So sell virtually, and want to sell that during the COVID-19 pandemic. We're still buying. Where does it say it? So by calling or texting, we can get a price and agreement in place over the phone today. I was even thinking about putting in and get a free roll of toilet paper, but yeah, it's just insane. And of course, I've got orange colors in there, and then I've got my picture on it. But yeah, so they put that template in there, and that is awesome. That is great marketing. Oh, if I sign up for the coaching, can you help me set up like you are? Yeah, so with the coaching, I can either teach you how to pay for it in REI Simple, which REI Simple is like $97 a month. But if you want to go the free route or the low cost route, you could go with Podio. And that's what I've been teaching my students. All of my students, except for, I think I just got a new one. All of my students have been taught through Podio. So when you link up with Podio, all of my Podio apps, so all the ones that I have made, you get that into your workspace. And I had a student that did deals from the Craigslist app. So Craigslist ads come right into Podio. And then also there is 3 offers that are generated through Podio. So as soon as you upload your list, it pulls in the ARV, it pulls in the Mayo for a light repair, medium repair, and a heavy repair. And you can, and of course I give you all the leads that you just upload them in there, and you immediately go off and run it. So that one I had Daryl this year from January, got the list, put it in Podio, texted it out in call text, and then like 21 days later, left the closing with $8,000 check. Knew how to do the tech. So I'm not tech savvy. But yeah, you can just get in Podio, and of course you just copy it all over. And I can show you how to link Deal Machine with your Podio. So when a new deal finder deal comes in, it'll tell you who found the deal. It'll send you a pic of the deal, and it'll have all of that information in Podio. And it'll say, hey, don't send out mail because Deal Machine is sending the mail. And of course, I can show you how to link it with a whole bunch of other stuff like Craigslist and Zillow. I just want to get set up and get past all the trial and error. Yeah, so you just set up and go. And if you can't do it, the cool thing about Podio is you can add me as a user, and then I can set it up for you. And now since the quarantine happened a couple weeks ago, I've been doing I was doing bi-weekly or every 2 weeks. I was doing an accountability coaching call on Mondays at 7, but now I'm doing them every week. So every week you're going to be on a coaching call. So, you know, updated stuff just like this. I'm going to be talking about that on there as well. So I give you the seller lists and the buyer lists, and I give them all to you whenever you need them. They're like $50 a month for me for free. And then every month I can pull up to like 15,000 leads. So I can just pull those and give them to you, and private lender if you need that. How much personal interaction? So you get my cell phone number. You can call me, text me anytime. And I had a student that had a problem with something, and I just couldn't get him to do it. So we jumped on a Zoom call, and I was able through here to, like, there's a thing on here where you can just take over their mouse, remote control. And so if you accept it, I can then control your mouse and I can then do it for you. Or you can I can share my screen and do it. But the way that I like doing it is where you share your screen and I just tell you what to do. So you go through the motions of doing it. And so I feel like you'll learn it better that way. But yeah, if you can't do it, I can come in and do it for you. Involved with the coaching, I see the calls, but is there something where I can ask questions as I take action? Yeah, so in Podio, you add me to your workspace. It's just like Facebook. You can tag me on a lead. You can at Mike Watkins, hey, what's up with this lead, or is this a real buyer? And then of course you have my cell phone, so you can call or text me anytime with any questions or anything. This is a great offer. I'm in. I missed this. Plus, you're in Georgia. Yeah. What am I missing? So that was the trouble for me is like having to put all this stuff together. I mean, it's just crazy, you know. So I would go to like seminars and webinars, and they would tell you like one or two things, but they would never put them together. But yeah, it's everything. The lists. A step-by-step action plan on what to do, where to go, what to say. And of course, you get all of the past accountability calls I've done. Those are on the site. You log in. You have all of the videos, all 12 videos on what to do, set up your Podio, driving for deals, setting up signs, Craigslist. All of that stuff is on there. So you can go in and watch it. If it's not on there, or if you have something else, we can go over it on a Zoom call and get you set up, so I don't leave anybody hanging. Yeah, it's all on there. And you can get that at, did I get rid of it? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so you can go here, thewealthuniversity.com, and I believe it's got to have the www dot on there. It'll go to it for me, but for some reason it pulls up T-Mobile, which I didn't even buy it on T-Mobile. But yeah, and then you just hit get coaching. And here's all this stuff. Yeah. So when you get it, the coaching, you'll log in and then you'll go to library and you'll have that in there. I'm also doing a training on how to train VAs. So I'm working with a lady on getting VAs from the Philippines, and we're training them on how to set up Podio for you, or how to operate all that stuff and cold call and text and everything for you. I want to say it's like $450 a month to $600 for full-time and part-time respectively. And then in here, I've got the 12-week course. I've got the wholesaling right from your smartphone. I've got all that in here. So if you want access to that, if you have that wholesale coaching or real estate coaching, you'll have access to all that other teaching. Yeah, you just got to get started, and you got to have somebody in your corner. I mean, if it's not me, get somebody that fits you. Just find somebody. Like, nobody ever, did all their stuff from a free ebook or a $9, course. Just find somebody, get somebody in your corner, and get them to help you, walk you through it. And if it's me, that's cool. If it's not me, that's fine too. Just get somebody in your corner. Everybody that has been successful in any part of life has always had a mentor. So I think that is it. If that's not it, you can, let's see. You can text me. Let's go back to slides. So I'll give you my number. So if you haven't copied all of those links to all of those things, you can, where is it? I've got like windows in front of me, so I can't see everything. Let's see. Here we go. This is it. Contact. All right. So there's my number right there if you want to call or text me. And then I will send out this recording to you when it's over. All right. So everybody stay safe, wear a mask, be good. Wash your hands, and I'll let y'all know when I do the next one. And y'all can jump on that, and I'll do the driving for deals one. All right. Have a great day. I'll see y'all next time.